click on it, and then I can cut it off by clicking this X, which means delete.
Okay.
There. Now it just changed that from a combination Y and 8 bend to a long sweep.
Yes, sir.
And
now, as far as the cut list, when we go here, hopefully we have some time here. You can show them how this all results in the end result, a cut list for estimating as well. But
absolutely.
That one section there that you just deleted, did the software go in and change up the cut on that piece of pipe?
Oh yes, it recognized that as a sweep, so that would change the size of the corresponding pipes accordingly. In fact, we can monitor the fittings by going to View, Fitting Labels, and there we can see those fitting labels. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to see by turning the graphics off.
Yes, sir.
You can turn the graphics on and off. Now, typically, what I would probably do in this scenario is I'd probably run a horizontal pipe over here and get that tub first. And so I'm just going to grab the end of that pipe that was here. I can highlight it and click the circle, and I can bring it over here. And since these pipes are no longer connected to the system, they're gone. It automatically takes those out for you. Now I'm gonna draw a drain from that tub over to this 2-inch branch, and then I'm gonna delete the end of that Y. I don't need it anymore, and that automatically changed this fitting to an 1/8 bend. Okay, now let's say I want to pick up the lavatory at this point. I'll come off of that drain, and then I'll start at the lavatory and drag a pipe downstream. And then I have this scenario. This is proper plumbing in our area for our plumbing code. It may be different in Texas, but because every state has its own code. So, and let's just take a look at that in the isometric. Okay, we can also look at that in 3D, which takes a few seconds the first time you run it, but it'll open in just a second. There it is. Okay, and we can zoom right on into that. And there's what we have so far. That's showing your tub drain, your combo, your sweeps, and your sanitary tee and your trap. And you mentioned the pipe cut list that would be associated with this drawing here. To bring that up, just click Create Pipe Cut List, and it's going to ask you what phase of construction you want this list for. If you want a cut list for the slab, it's only going to include pipes below the first floor level, and so it wouldn't include anything above the slab unless it begins below the first floor level.
Mr. Poole, can you go back and repeat how you get to that feature?
Right here, okay, I'll cancel that. To create a pipe cut list, click Create Pipe Cut List, and then it brings us to this box. It's just asking us what phase of construction we're cutting pipe for. We do a lot of concrete slabs in this part of the country, so once we select the phase, we'll click OK, and it brings you up to this list here, which you can print or preview. As you see here, each pipe is numbered on the left side, and then it also gives you the pipe size, and then this is the length of each pipe in feet and inches. You're probably wondering what these pipe numbers mean. If you select View Pipe Numbers, Each pipe, you'll see a corresponding pipe number.
It's on the pipe. You can barely see it on there. You'll see it here in a minute on your screen. Did you see how
Go to isometric. You might be able to see that better. But each pipe has a number that corresponds to pipes in the cut list.
You guys just start assembling them on the job.
And then with this list, you can put everything together, cut everything ahead of time. We use a chop saw, so we get a nice clean square cut on each pipe. And there's no measuring on the job. You just put it together basically by the numbers.
Yes, sir.
Here's
And
a preview.
that cut list, Mr. Poole, is that, since we're working with PVC for our DWV, that's a cut list that's everything's figured for engagement on those fittings?
Yes. Yes, everything is taken into account, the various fittings, based on the fitting dimension settings that are pre-programmed into QuickPlumb, and they can be edited. You can go to settings, fitting dimensions, and in this window you select the size of each fitting. Pipe 1 of the fitting is the downstream end of the fitting. In the case of a quarter bend, it would only have 2 pipes, pipe number 1 and pipe number 3. And let's say we want to see the dimensions for a 2-inch quarter bend. We can click View Current Settings, and these numbers represent the distance in inches from the center of that fitting. We can go down here to say a combo and select the size. Let's say we want to see a 2-inch combo. There are the dimensions in inches of that fitting, but these are already in there. You don't have to enter these. And
so
since we're
built into the program itself are sizing charts.
Yes, and you can pull it up online by clicking here. I got a link to Charlotte Pipes fitting dimensions.
Let's say hypothetical that the customer comes back and says, you know what, we want to go with cast iron on this whole project. Is it as easy as a click of a button that you can change your whole project that you just drew up from PVC to cast iron?
Yeah, I'll show you how you do that. Just go right here to DWV material, click cast iron, and you're done.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Right, now when I go to settings, fitting dimensions, these dimensions are for cast iron.
So the same would result if, say, when we start drawing up water lines, and say we go from PEX to copper, customer says, well, let's go with CPVC. Once the whole system's drawn up for potable drinking water, just a click of a button and we change the whole system over to something